Today's lesson is on solving multi-step equations. In these examples, we're going to solve each equation and then we're going to check the solution either with a calculator or by hand. Okay, so example number 1. We have y minus 7 plus 4y equals 13. Okay, these are multi-step equations, which the first thing that you want to do is you want to collect like terms. So I'm going to call that CLT. So another way that I describe this is cleaning up the equation. So the first thing that I notice is I've got a y plus 4y. So we're going to collect those together because they both have the variable of y, and that gives us 5y. Then I'm going to bring down the minus 7, and it equals 13. Now I've cleaned up my equation. Everything is together that needs to be together, and so now I'm going to draw the dotted line down the equal sign. Okay? And we need to get this y variable by itself. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the opposite operation of subtracting 7, which means we're going to add 7 to the other side. Okay, and this gives us 0. So then we have 5y equals 13 plus 7 is 20. Then because it's 5 times y, we're going to divide both sides by 5, which this cancels to give us 1. So we have 1y equals 20 divided by 5, which is 4. And now we're going to check. So everywhere that we see a y, we're going to plug in a 4. So I've got the y, so instead I'm going to plug in a 4, and then we have minus 7, then we have plus 4 times y, which again was 4, that's what we found, and hopefully that equals 13. Well, 4 minus 7 is negative 3, plus 4 times 4 is 16, and negative 3 plus 16 does in fact equal 13, so we're good. So this is our final answer. Okay, so now let's look at example 2. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to collect like terms and do all of our distribution. So we're going to distribute the 3 in the parentheses. 3a, and then 3 times a negative 5 is minus 15. Then we have plus 19, and that equals negative 2. Well, we need to collect our like terms. We have these numbers that are like, so we're going to put the 3a, we're going to just bring that down. Negative 15 plus 19 gives us a positive 4, and that equals negative 2. So now that we've cleaned everything up, let's draw our dotted line. Let's do our opposite operations. So to get rid of the plus 4, we need to subtract 4 from both sides. This is going to give us 0, and then we will have 3a equals negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6, and then we need to divide by 3, which cancels to give us 1a. We're going to divide by 3 over here, and so that's going to give us a negative 2. So now let's plug it into the equation to see if it works. So we have 3 parentheses. Instead of a, we're going to plug in the number that we got, which was negative 2, and then minus 5. Close your parentheses, and then we have plus 19 equals negative 2. Well, we want to do our parentheses first, so negative 2 minus 5, that would give us 3 times negative 7 plus 19. Well, 3 times negative 7 is negative 21, and if we add 19 to that, then it does in fact give us negative 2. And so this checks off, and so we know that our correct answer, what we got our first time, is correct. Okay, moving on to example 3, we have if 6x plus 1 equals negative 23, then what does 2 times x minus 6 equal? Well, notice that we've got an x here and we've got an x here. So what we want to do is we want to solve for x in this equation, and then we're going to plug it in to this equation. Okay, so let's do this. Let's draw our dotted line because everything is collected. And let's go ahead and solve. So we've got minus 1. We're going to subtract 1 from both sides. That gives us 0. So then we have 6x equals negative 24. And if we divide both sides by 6, we get x equals negative 4. Okay, well now we want to plug that in right here for x. So we've got 2 parentheses. If we plug in our negative 4 for x, then we're going to have negative 4 minus 6. Well, negative 4 minus 6 gives us negative 10. And then if we multiply that by 2, then it equals negative 20. So we have found what 2 times x minus 6 is. It equals negative 20. And there's our answer. Okay, our last example. If 4m minus 2 divided by 2 equals 5, then what does m plus 5 equal? So I want you to pause the video and I want you to try this on your own, and then when you're ready to check your answer, go ahead and press play again. Okay, hopefully you got the same thing that I did. When I solved for m over here, I got that m is equal to 3. Remember, when you have a divided by 2, so right here, when you have a divided by 2, you want to multiply both sides by 2 in order to get rid of it, because the opposite operation of division is multiplication, okay? And so once we've solved all this, we get m equals 3, and then remember, you're going to take m equals 3 and you're going to plug it back in here. So 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. Okay guys, I hope that lesson was helpful. Please come to class, fill out your WISC, please come to class ready to work.